I haven't taken a peaceful shit in 10 days. Well, we've all been there before, right, guys? And guys? Guys? Just me? Well, it's a good thing I have my own backup plan. Kill is an action movie from India and centers around two commandos who hopefully aren't going commando, but I'm not going to judge. Armit and Varesh, and they are two individuals that have a good rapport. We see this in the very opening of the movie, and they decide to take a train trip to New Delhi, because apparently Old Delhi is shut down and being renovated. I know nothing about India geography beyond the fact it is a very, very packed country with a lot of dialects. And yes, I reviewed RRR and accidentally said Bollywood instead of Tollywood. I apologize. The language track for this is apparently Hindi. And from there, we find out this is no ordinary train trip because there's a bunch of criminals led by an evil mastermind. They're bound determined to rob the passengers. And after a series of events, including one thing that affects one of these commandos deeply, the only mission is to kill them all in a movie called Kill the Layers this movie has. So this got a brief theatrical release, and I didn't get around to it. I actually did have a ticket, but was unable to go due to traffic and construction. And the bottom line is, I decided to wait and see if this would drop on a streaming service. It was on Amazon for about $10 to rent, and I plunked down my $10 or about $11 after tax and decided, why the hell not? Let me give it a shot. I enjoyed RRR. I enjoyed Pathan or Patan, however the hell you say that. And I decided, let me branch out and try some things. So I will say I'm not going to attempt to pronounce any of the actors' names. I don't want to disrespect them, but I will say that their IMDb pages do show that they have been in quite a few things. And there is a love interest of Armit, Tulika, or Tuli, is actually the shortened version. She has a nice look, actually has some very pretty eyes, I will say that. She factors into something a little bit later on, and really without getting into spoilers, this movie is just a blood-soaked gore fest at times. It has some of the best goddamn kills I have seen in quite a while. It's like Monkey Man on a train. Monkey Man had a bigger budget behind it. Not that this had a small budget, but the action scenes and the stunt work in the confines of a train, really, really good. This is definitely better than Bullet Train, even though Bullet Train had the sleek $200 million production budget, or whatever the fuck it was, and it had Joey King, and it had some good stuff. It felt overly long, and this doesn't really waste any goddamn time. I mean, there are a few times where maybe it slows down a little bit more than it needs to, but when it goes full blast, holy goddamn shit, there's some great kills. Just a lot of great stuff, a lot of great ways of dispatching people. Kill, 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 a lot of killing. And you know what? I had a great goddamn time. I'm not going to say it was perfect. It doesn't reinvent the wheel. The story, what little there is pretty basic and really not anything that you haven't seen a million goddamn times in an action movie before. But for, decent world building and the fact that it paces itself pretty well once the action scenes get going, especially 45 minutes in, this thing kicks the fuck off. There are some action scenes before that, but then it really kicks into gear. And also, once the credits start rolling, it's a breezy 97 or so minutes. And it's fun. It's really fun. And it also does shine a light that people can use adrenaline, because apparently they listen to that Bush song from Unforgiven 2002. If anybody remembers that, I love you guys. I think it was also a song in Triple X. Nevertheless, Kill is a lot of fun and something well worth your time and well worth checking out. It is on Amazon for about $10, but the cast does a good job. There are a few times where I was like, okay, I'm trying to figure out who these people actually are, because outside of the main villain and a couple secondary villains, and Armit and Varesh, Tuli, her character is distinct. There are a couple others. There's a side plot about searching for one particular person. Somebody that decides to use the bathroom at the wrong goddamn time. You should have held it, goddammit. But yeah, it's a simple story, but it's fun once the action gets going and the blood starts flowing. And my oh my, is it fun down on the Indian Bayou. Gonna get into spoilers. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. So, yeah, basically, we start off with a little bit of stuff between Armit and Varesh. There's a Hindi language and also some English. I don't know if that had to do with translation or just how things go over there. I'm not judging. I had to really, really pay attention, though, because, I'm not used to, action movies or movies in general from India. I will say RRR was just an absolutely otherworldly experience, though, so check that out after you check Kill if you haven't seen it. There's an arranged engagement or arranged marriage. I don't know why any society still does that, but I digress. Tuli is somebody that Armit loves and she loves him, or Armit, however you say it. I'm probably screwing up these names, even though I had a lot of fun watching this movie and I tried to commit them to memory, but, pronunciation differences. So, him and Varesh decide to get on the train. Things quickly go tits up, basically. And there's a lot of stabbing, and Varesh basically takes a lot of bludgeoning to his shoulder. A lot of bludgeoning. It's actually kind of amazing that his arm is even still hanging on. And Armit basically takes a lot of takes a massive beating too. But he is a one-man. Armit, I'm sorry. I'm so goddamn sorry. Also, yes, the villains happen to have this portable, device that shuts down phones and the internet on the train to New Delhi from Old Delhi. And then, yes, you get people being killed. There's a guy named Fanny. Or, Fanny. That's just it's kind of funny to hear a guy named Fanny being spanked about. And that means something different across the pond. But I don't know why they decided that this would be a good idea to rob people on a goddamn train and think that this would go well. Sure, you don't expect commandos to just go absolutely batshit insane and kill you guys, but you probably should have had a better coordinated plan. So, yes, there's a young lady, Ahana, who was a friend of Tuli, a young girl, I believe. Younger sister, younger friend. I'm not totally sure. Again, some things went really, really fast. So, well, we have to kill them all. Varesh gets taken out kind of quickly. He actually is mostly dispatched for a good portion of the movie. The train cars are separated, basically. Like, there's these, garage door, these metal storage doors on there for some reason. I guess just for this occasion. And then Armit says, I'm going to kill them all. He does end up basically getting the shit beat out of him, even though he does kill a few. There's a big beefy guy that factors into the whole goddamn thing for a while. Ravi is one of the friends of Fanny, or his brother from another mother, for all I goddamn know. And then others get on the goddamn train, including Fanny's father. There's a family argument during one particular part of the movie that just made me laugh, because it's like, really? You're picking now to argue? And then Tuli basically is confronted by Fanny, and this is after, by the way, Tuli had told him what car they were in, because she was just getting ready, because she was about to go and have her arranged marriage. But we also got an earlier scene where Armit proposes to Tuli, and also she had said earlier in a flashback, oh, do I need to die for you to be with me, or to be with you? It's like, ooh, because it ends up becoming true, because she gets killed pretty violently. Even though she manages to slash Fanny a couple times, she gets killed, and gets killed violently. And oh boy, you done fucked up. You fucked up, Fanny man. And oh boy, then we seriously get the title of the movie 45 minutes in. I'm not kidding. We get the title of the movie 45 minutes in. Whatever, it's fine. A little weird. And then we get flashbacks telling a little bit of the story about how much they did love each other. And yeah, let's just kill everybody. He goes on a rampage at one point, just slashing and dicing, and he stabs a guy in the eye with his knife. Just gutted, stabbing, boom, boom, boom. It's amazing. Beats a guy's head on a goddamn toilet at one point. Flips a guy over in a toilet stall. I don't know how he managed to do that, since the room just went... I mean, I know the door is open, but whatever, it's fine. Just defy physics. And this is after, by the way, the dad gets on board when the train slows down. The dad of Fanny says, oh, what's going on here? And wait a second, why'd you kill this guy? And there's also a subplot about the person that owns the transport, and that it's his fault that all this stuff is happening. and Thule was his daughter. And yeah, that didn't go so well for the villain of this particular thing, because now the villain says that Commando's love has fallen on us like a bomb. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have done that. You probably should have knocked her out, but you're dead. You don't know it yet, but you're already dead. So, yeah, basically revenge is seeked. Varesh is still fucked, so he's kind of taken out of this whole thing. And yeah, the police end up getting involved at one point. Don't stand so close to them. Armit just keeps killing. Let him cook, as the kids say. I am so old and trying to stay hip. Man, there were some nice shots, like down, like, you know, the narrow corridors of this train. It was actually kind of like nice how they were doing that. And even though Armit was getting destroyed, he was getting beat up, he was fighting back, and there were people that were getting killed. The big beefy guy kept getting involved. And then eventually people decided to band together and fight back, despite the fact they could have been doing this a while ago, but whatever. It's all right. And then our villain decided to kill one of the police officers who gets on board, dropping his weapon. He dropped it in his head. That was a funny line. I will admit that right there. That was a pretty funny line. And then there's a darkened kill sequence where you can't really tell who's being killed. That was a choice. I don't know why they did that. They could have maybe had the lights, well, maybe not flicker on and off, because you do have people that are prone to seizures and epilepsy. But yeah, we just basically the dad gets killed, gets his head set on fire at one point. Those fire effects were fun. Not probably the best. It was all right. It was what it was. I'm not going to hold that against the movie. And then we get one final showdown. So basically, Armit has just cut through everybody. I mean, he has just destroyed people. And Pang's like, I killed 4 of your people and you killed 40 of my family. Well, why did you kill his one beloved? Oh, you idiot. And it seems like, okay, maybe our hero's going to meet his end. Maybe he is, because maybe he's just been stabbed too many times. Because he's been stabbed a lot. Varesh, by the way, got killed a little bit earlier on. Maybe like 10 minutes before this. Maybe 5. But Armit's like, okay, I'm going to kill. In a movie called Kill, again. But he manages to finally get the guy down. And just before I tell you that, I do want to say the big beefy guy with the Mario mustache got killed at one point and got a hammer literally embedded in his head. It was awesome. And then, speaking of hammers, our hero has a hammer and hammers the villain in the dick twice. He hammers him in the dick and then beats the shit out of him. And then the police show up. And then he has a flashback with Thule. And then the movie ends. I liked it. Fuck you. It was fun. It was, I'm sure maybe this plays out typically as an action movie in India. I don't know. I know they, offer a lot of wild stunts and craziness. But I had fun with this. It's not perfect. It has a few slow parts that maybe dragged a little bit. And there are probably some things that play out better over in India than over here. But for action and decent world building, I'm giving it an A-, especially for the fun factor. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.